Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well today. Today's tutorial shall be on how to draft a perfect armhole curve or arm side for your bodice pattern. And I'll be sharing with you guys 3 ways of marking the arm side for your bodice pattern. If you're new to this channel, you are welcome. This is Donlarrie, and here on this channel I share pattern drafting and sewing tutorial. So if you're a fashion student, or you are a pattern maker, or you're just a sewing lover, consider subscribing guys, join the family, and also remember to put on your notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video you will be notified. Okay guys, so let's jump straight into the tutorial. So guys, before I show you on the pattern paper on how you can draft a perfect armhole curve, we're going to be calculating the armhole depth measurement, and I'll quickly show you 3 ways of doing this. So the first way is to take your measure the perimeter of your armhole, and then to do this you're going to take your tape measure and then you start measuring from the tip of your shoulder, the shoulder tip, which is the lowest part of your shoulder. So you take this measurement and then you wrap the tape measure around your armhole. So like this, you wrap it around, so from the shoulder tip through to the under the arm or your armpit, and then you take it back through the back and back to the same point. And when you are taking this measurement, you can either measure it firmly and later add its allowance to it, or you add its allowance to it when you are taking the measurement, which means you will make it a little bit loose while you are taking this measurement. So let's say you took the measurement firmly and you get 16 inches round. You measure it round, and then you're going to be needing half of this. So the 16 inches, you will divide it by 2 because you remember that you measure around and you only need half of this, and you took the measurement firmly. So you're going to divide this measurement by 2, and this will give you 8 inches. And then now you need to add your ease allowance to it, because if you don't add your ease allowance to it, and this actually depends on the designs or the fabric you are working with. So but we're going to be talking about the basic one, so you can manipulate this as you like. So let's say this is 8 inches, right? So you go ahead and add your ease allowance of 0.25 to it, and depending on the ease allowance you want to add to it, so you can decide to make it a little bit loose, and then you can decide to make it fitted depending on how you want it, but this is just the basic. So if you add 0.25, which is 1/4 inch to it, you will have 8.25 inches, and that will be your armhole depth. And then if you took this measurement loosely on your body, you might have maybe like 17 inches or whatever. So you still go ahead and divide this by 2. If you divide this by 2, you will have 8.5 inches, right? If you get 8.5, for instance, you can just leave it like that. So, and just like I said earlier, that this depends on the style you are making. If you are making a jacket, for instance, obviously drafting a jacket pattern, you will need to enlarge the pattern, so you might even have to add more to this. So depending on the style you are making, depending on the fabric you are working with. So if you get 17, that is still okay for you, and if you think you want to take away from this, that is absolutely fine. So just play around with this, and then you stick with the one that works well for you. So that is the first method. So first method is to measure the perimeter of your armhole, and then we move on to the second way of getting your armhole depth measurement. So the second way is to take your measurement from the nape of your neck, and then you take this measurement through to your chest line, just under the arm, just like this. And then whatever you get there, so let's say you get 9 inches there. I will come back to this later. So if you get 9 inches here, I will show you on the pattern paper what you're going to do. Okay, so if you get 9 inches, for instance, with this method, it means you're going to take away 1 inch from this method, from this 9 inches, and then you will have 8 inches. So I will show you the reason why you need to take 1 inch from this later on. So the third method we're going to be talking about now is to take your bust round measurement, your bust circumference measurement. So let's use the bust measurement of 38 inches. So let's say your bust measurement is 38 inches now. So you're going to divide this by 4 inches. So whatever you get, you will divide it by 4 inches. And then dividing this by 4 inches, that will be 9.5 inches. I hope I'm right. So 9.5 inches. And whatever you now get from here, you're going to take away 1.5 inch from this. And depending on the ease you want, so that is, you just need to play around with this, and then whichever one works well for you, that is what you will stick with. We are going to have 8 inches. If you take away 1.5 inches from this, we have 8 inches. And then if you decide that you want to add ease allowance to it, instead of taking away 1.5 inch, you can just take away 1 inch, or you can take away 1.25 inch, and then whatever you get, that will be your armhole measurement. So this is the 3 methods you can use, and you can try all of these 3, you know, and then see the average measurement, and then you just stick to that. Okay, so now that we have this, so I will show you on the pattern paper now on how you can draft it, and we're going to start with the front armhole cuff. Okay guys, so this is our pattern paper. This is the shoulder line, which will always be your starting point. If you're new to pattern drafting, or if you're a beginner, I have a tutorial on this channel on how to draft a basic bodice pattern. I'll put the link down in the description, or you can just go through my channel. You will see the tutorial. I think it's the second tutorial on this channel. So this is our shoulder line, and I'm just assuming that you've already created your neckline, and then you've marked your shoulder measurement. So now let's start with the first method. So with this first method, remember that we've added ease allowance to it, and then the one we added is allowance. So whichever one. So if you are using this method, you are going to come to this mark on your pattern paper or on your fabric, if you are marking directly on the fabric, and then you're going to mark 1 inch. So you mark 1 inch, and once you've marked this 1 inch, you're going to create your shoulder slope. So you create your shoulder slope like this. And once you've created that shoulder slope, you are now going to input whatever you have here. After marking this 1 inch, that is when you will input this. Not that you will start from the shoulder line. First, you need to mark that 1 inch. So let's go with 8.5. So we're just assuming that we've added our ease allowance to it. So I'm going to mark 8.5 here, like this. Can you see that? And once you've marked that 8.5, you're going to square down a line through to that 8.5, like this. So this line will now become your chest line, your upper chest line. So I'm just going to square this line. So like this. Can you see that? So this is the upper chest line now, and this is now your armhole depth, which is 8.5 inches. So that is your armhole depth. Once you get this one, it will be easier for you to create the cuff. So that is the first method, and the reason why we came down by 1 inch here is because our shoulder, look at your shoulder right now, you can see that your shoulder is not straight. So that is the reason why you need to go down, so that this will lay well with your shoulder, so to avoid gaping around here. So that is why you need to come down by 1 inch. So that is the first method. So now coming to the second method, you know, I told you to take away 1 inch here. So if whatever you get is 9 inches, remember that we took that measurement from the nape of the neck. So that is why you need to take away 1 inch from it. So let's say you measure 9 inches from the nape of your neck, which is here, and then you input that 9 inch like this. You need to take away this 1 inch to create that shoulder slope. So that is the 1 inch you are taking away. You want to create the shoulder slope. That is why you are taking away this 1 inch from whatever you get. If yours is 10 inches, if yours is 11 inches, depending on what you get, you will need to take away this 1 inch, and that 1 inch goes to this. So that 1 inch is this 1 inch we mark here for the first method to create the shoulder slope. I hope you understand that. And once you've taken that, once you've taken away 1 inch, whatever you have, that is what you will input from here to here. So in that case, your whole measurement will be 8 inches. I hope you understand that. So for the third method now, we already have 8 inches, and I know you understand how we arrived here. So take your bust measurement, divide it by 4, and then whatever you get, you take away 1.5 inch, or depending on the ease you want, remember. So let's say we have 8 inches, and then you will just need to first of all mark this 1 inch, and then input your 8 inches like this. And then that on that 8 inches, that is where your upper chest line will be. So I hope you understand now all this armhole measurement we've calculated. Now we want to create the armhole curve, the perfect armhole curve. Okay, so to create the armhole curve now, whatever you have on this line, you will need to find the middle point. So you find the middle point, and here I have 4.25, and that is the middle point. The next thing you want to do is to, depending on your size, so if you are of smaller size, you can mark up to 1 inch. If you are of smaller size, so for smaller size you mark 1 inch. For the medium size you mark 0.75 inch, which is 3/4 inch. For the size 14 to 18, that is UK size, you can mark 1/2 inch. And then for the larger size, you can mark 1/4 inch, which is 0.25 inch. So these are just the standard measurements. You can use your hole, you can measure you can take your chest measurement and sort that out. But if you want to stick with the standard measurements, you can just go with these dimensions here. So I'll just stick with the standard measurement for the smaller size. So I've already marked 1 inch, and if you want to use the medium size, you mark 0.75 inch. So let's go with the 0.75 inch, and then you're going to need your armhole curve. You can see the way I place my armhole curve. So make sure it touches the shoulder tip, it touches this line, and then this under the arm line. So you can see the 3 lines here, 1, 2, 3, like this. And then if you are going with 1 inch, you do the same. Make sure it touches this point, and then back to this point. And also, if you want to follow the standard rule, you can come to this angle here and mark 3/4 inch diagonally like this. So mark 3/4 inch diagonally like this, and then make sure it touches here, it touches here, it touches here and here. So if you don't have your French curve, you can use your free hand to do that. Once you know where and where to mark, so you can use your free hand to do that. Just mark it from here, connect it to this one, down to this one, down to this one, and down to this one. So I'm still going to use my French curve to finish it up like this. So this is what we have for the armhole curve. So to draft your back measurement now, all you need to do is to draw a curved line from here to here, and then connect it to the under the arm. So I'm just going to, since this part is straight already, So I'm just going to place my tape, my French cuff like this, and then you draw from here through to here. So as simple as this, guys. So can you see how easy it is? And then once you have your perfect armhole cuff, then you go ahead and create your sleeve pattern. I have a tutorial on this channel on how you can draft your basic sleeve pattern. I will also link it down in the description box below. So guys, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. I hope you find it helpful. If you find this tutorial helpful, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, share this video with your friends and loved ones, and if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, what are you waiting for, guys? Make sure you subscribe, and also remember to put on your notification bell. Until I see you guys in another tutorial, do have a wonderful day. Bye.